Hello folks. So today let me tell you about how you can create how you can create a dynamic component, how you can create dynamic modules dynamically, how you can create a compiler like Angular. So as in my previous video, I already talked about the dynamic component. So here we are discussing more about the module, how you can create the module. You can also create the module dynamically. So let me show you how you can achieve that. So here we are going to discuss dynamic component, dynamic module, and Angular compiler. So let me give you a brief about how before moving forward, what you need to know about all these things like content child, ng for of, ng for template, let, let I, and means to implement that we also need these packages like view container ref, component factory resolver, compiler package. So all you need with this. So let me show you how you can create like this. So firstly remove the unnecessary code from here. Let's move to the code now. So here we are simply going to create a dynamic component. So for this what you need to do here. So this is the component for that app runtime content. Let's check this how it is working here. With the simple utilities of Angular, we can easily implement this thing. What is the status of this runtime content? So let's uncomment this runtime content. So in this we have created a dynamic module. So here as you can see we are going to create this Angular compiler. So when you compile it, it will print the value of the name, whatever the value we define here internally, and you can according to your requirement you can update this compiler. So here what we have, so these packages we are going to use here, these are the Angular core packages, and so let's understand what are these things. So ng template are basically embedded views and got passed as a context, and with let item means here with instead of asterisks we have added the item with whatever the variable name we want to add, you can add here. With let item the context property implicit is made available as item within the template for findings. And this content chart are basically used to query the dynamic content. So as we know this with ng content we find the dynamic content, so you can also use this. So if we have a single child content element, then we can use content child instead of content children. So let me show you here how it's working. So this is the code that we have added here, and in this we are binding the dynamic module. So here firstly what you need to do for this, firstly you need to import the compiler package as I already mentioned, and the compiler template what we have added in the compiler template we have added means on this compile button what is working. So we have checked that. So here in the compiler template we simply imported the component name. This is the dynamic component that we have added, and this is the template that we are going to pass. This template we have added in the box. So in the box we have this template. So we have added this template, and how we created the component. So to create a component, firstly we need to pass it to the factory so that it will update that. So firstly we have created decorated content, then we have created decorated module, then we are using this compiler to create that component, and we are returning that content from here. So what it do, what utilities we have used here. So firstly we have prepared the metadata of the component. As you know, in the this is the metadata of any component that we have, this selector template URL style URL. So we have created like that here, and here we are creating this factory means in this create component, what we do, it instantiates a single component instead of the its host view into its container. So what it require the component factory. So firstly, so then we need to prepare the component factory to use it. So that is why we have created a factory using that utility, and here we are using this component factory. So here we are passing this factory, and how this factory is created. How means we are created this factory using this metadata. So so here what we need to do means in metadata what you need to do, you need to pass the component details, and if we not pass the component details, then it will be used by default component class. So here we have created this component, and in the component we have declared the name property, which has the name this. So that is why it is printed this name. We compile the code to this. So whatever we add, it will compile it here. So here, so in the component, so now we have created the component. This is a decorative component in which we have passed the metadata, and they have what it needs. It is type decorator. Decorator that marks a class as an Angular component provides configuration metadata that determines how the component should be processed, instantiated, and used at runtime. So we have created a component. Now, if we talk about the module, so in the module, generally what we have, let's see, in the module we have, so we have ng module in which we declare all the components, all the entity components, all the imports modules that we have created. So simply, so same thing we have included here also to create the things dynamically. So here we have imported the module, we have imported a declaration. The declaration we imported the component name, and here we have created the module. So in this module, so we are passing this module to this utility, which is compile module and all components sync. So it creates component factories for all components. So here we are passing this module, then we are using this from the module, we are picking up the particular component. So here, as you can see, we are putting all this thing here, and we are returning that component. So what it returns? It returns a factory. Then what we are doing, we have created a component ref. So I already talk about, we are using the component reference. So this is a component reference that we have created now. So this component, in this component reference, we are in this view container, we are creating a component. So in the create component, it needs the factory. So we have passed the factory, and it will instantiate the component here. So as you can see here, if we check the HTML. So this is a dynamic component that we have created just. So in this component, we have added this block, this template. So this is the Angular runtime. So this is a component name, runtime component sample. So as you can see here, it has created like here, and we have passed this data here in this component. This is a template. So with this approach, you can easily use it. Here we are passing this container. So this container is a content reference. So this is a content reference in which we are binding all this data. Thanks guys for watching. If you have any query, you can ping here.